Ndikanda and Hondi and Kula on career choices really affected my career choice. And I should stress this, Gunori, Mushitenge Ichi kuti ndi mwai kuti you be spoken to by people, I mean, my engineers, my lawyer, my science, and the zina zotero. I would say kuti you have an advantage because the muntu kakhala kuti ulibe information, you make wrong career choices. I don't know if I made the right choice or if I made the wrong choice, but I would say kuti if I had information, but I didn't have enough information. I was just excited to be number 2 in my school. You know, I was just excited to be number 2 in my school, but I really didn't know. After this, then what? Komano sitting back, ndinalibe information yokwanira because nthawi imene ndiri manamba one osama school osagwera pamodzi. You should feel it like this. You should look at it like this. Kuti manamba one ose from Sanje to Chitipa abweresa limodzi. Onse amene akhoza bwino abweresa limodzi. I know the people that are going to speak to you in the next few days are going to tell you about the points amene amafunikira for particular programs. But I'm also going to touch on this unena kuti pena umatokhala excited in this mene okhozera munthu MSCE. Kunora inayanda koza 10 points, nakoza 14 points. Then menezikuonekera mundu bile ndikapange MBBS, kapena ndikapange actuarial science, kapena ndikapange is. Yet that particular thing is not aligned with your strength or with your passion. So I'm sharing my own story. I didn't know when was the best time to make this career choice. But you guys have an opportunity now. Put his chances number to apply. Put you can make the right career choice. Komaso ndinene kunena kuti ndi mmene population ya anthu ofuna kupita ku university ilili panopa, making the right career choice that aligns with both your strengths but also both your capacity in terms of ma results anu aku skulu komaso strength as an individual ndikofunikira kwambiri, because without that mutapezeka kuti akutengani ku program of study imene muna mwangoipanga fancy because of your friends akupanga so apply or apply akakutengani imene yonse mukuzoa zoti mukakumana ndi zotani mukapezeka kuti mwina mwangopanga ko spend chaka chimodzi ku university kuja kumabwerako. I know you don't want that kind of scenario where you go to a university and mukatuluke konsanga. When you go to a university, make sure kuti mwapita ku university kuja mukakhaleko zaka zimene zimungena okhala ku university kuja. It will be very sad that after this particular meeting someone has gone to the university and within a year wabwerako chifukwa chani timata apalira amuida munthu uja. So I don't want you to make wrong career choices because you don't have information. So that's why I'm sharing my own story, that I didn't have people to speak to me, so I didn't know when exactly to make the right career choice and what career choice I needed to make. But thank God I passed through all that. I'll speak about that later, but yeah, that's what I wanted to stress, that making your career choice is actually now. For me, I didn't know what I wanted to do. The only thing I knew was that I didn't want to be in the hospital. My mother was a nurse, but I didn't want to be in the hospital simply because of what I'd seen her going through. I didn't want to go through that. So I knew I didn't want to be a nurse. I didn't want to be in the hospital, but I just didn't know what exactly I wanted to do. So after this session, I'm sure that you have a clear picture of how exactly you can make your career choice. Now, the big question that I want to address.
Hi, Aggie, let me disturb you a bit.
Yes.
All right, guys, Google Meet has a limit of 150 participants. Unfortunately, we have reached 150 participants. So, if you know anyone who is outside this meeting and they are trying to join, ask them to go on our Facebook page, and we're also live there. So, if they can make it into this meeting, we are live on the Yes Initiative Facebook page. Sorry for the interruption, Ag. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, now I want to address the other big question, to say that, okay, after you have decided that you want to choose a particular career path now, you want to go this particular direction, how best should you choose your career path? I think that's the biggest question. How best do you choose a career path? I would say that a lot of factors come into play when an individual wants to make a career choice, when they want to choose. I know kuti ena ndinoana koma ena nunso mwadusa momene funa ndipangeti fako ena numagwirapo. You are just young koma mwamba kale tizibwezi mukamachuza mumakhala ndi mafactors angapa amene mmayang'ana mukapita ku college kumwina mukayambanso kuchuza tinene chilungamo apa eti komano it's the same thing kuti ukamasankha career path. It's like going into a relationship because this is going to be a long-term thing. It's not this is something for the next 4 or 5 years.
Search on Facebook.
Okay, so I want to address the question: how do you choose the right career path? 10 years later, regret. I really wish I did this. I really wish I went that direction. Okay, so I want to address that particular big question. How then do you choose the right career path? So a lot of factors come into play when you're making a career choice as a young person. A lot of factors will come into play. Number one, I have found out that for most people, where they're coming from, I would say their family background comes into play when people are making a career choice. I would say the factors ena menta nene banobawa ndiba factors abwino kuma factors ena sima factors abwino onna kuti mwina as a people now tuwena wagumula tuwena kuti titane now kuti asati sokoneze as we are making our career choices. But then I would say number one factor imene mapangitsa anthu imene anthu amatsatira kwambiri akama sankha career path ndi their family background. You'd agree with me, Guri, your family background determines the information that you have or the information that you don't have. For some people, depending on kumena kulira, ata kukala kuti alindi access to a lot of information. How is this information coming to them? They may have antu mu family yako momo amena napita mwina ku university. So it could be kuti they are not the first ones to go to the university. Ata kwa mwina ndi last born in the family, or they might be the first born. Koma mwina makolo wao anapita ku university. Amene timanena kuti si first generation. Muntu tikamaka ndi first generation student, timakamba kuti amene ndo yamba kwao kupita ku university. Muntu amene kwao palibe bana pita ku university, ndi muntu amene kwao kwakhala tsewe ya anthu amene apita ku university. Career choice imakhala yosiyana. Amene amakhala kuti kwako kunapita ku anthu ku university, amakhala at an advantage than the other people, amene or the other person, amene kwao kunapita kwa muntu ku university. That was exactly my experience. I was in my family the first generation person to go to the university. Yes, my mother was a nurse, komana banga manesi ngomwe wantha imeneyo. Komano, I was the first person, amene mu family yako I was going to attain a degree for the first time. So zima kuika paper position ina yake yabu ino komanso ndi position yopya because ndiyabu ino ifanya ukhala munthu oyamba ndiyopya chifanya nina kuti utakupanga career choice ola kuika chifanya no libe information yokwanira. So for some people amatoka information yokwanira because of the people that they have in their family. Komanso kukhala ndi anthu in the background onena kuti atakuyankhula kutaso kukhaso ndi disadvantage. I would give you this example to say kuti pala anthu mmene iniyo mukudziwira kuti muntu ungova zoti mwana wako za 6 points. You'd agree with me kuti most of the time before even mwana uja ubanga decide, before even you decide kuti nene ndikufuna ndikapange chakuti ku university, already family society mene mukhala ikungoona kuti iniyo mukupita College of Medicine. I hope you agree with me. If you agree with me, just raise your hand. I can see some hands. So, and because the muntu yokoza 6 points, muntu yokoza under 10 points, amene azivira ku College of Medicine, kapena akapangeza engineering. Komano mwina muntu yalibe that strength, imeduka mbila na mazulu ano. This person may not have the strength, the emotional, I would say emotional intelligence, koma alibe that passion yodata wakhalamo muchipatala moja. Ndizimezi mapezeka kuti yes muntu anakoza bwino koma ndidokotala amene akuwayalusa mwina mapatient akamaliza school moja. Simply because muntu yosina ali passion yake koma wapitako simply because mapoints amukakamiza kuti apite kumeneko. I hope you are understanding what I'm saying. So family background can be an advantage, but at the same time, it can also be a disadvantage. I know most of you, on what you should do, what program of study you should pursue. But I would say that you have to be very careful on how you take zimene mwina just because makolo anena zakuti. I've heard of an incident where muntu, not in Malawi of course, anapita ku university simply because makolo ake anamukakamiza kuti ukapanga engineering. Mwana wanga akwenda ukapanga engineering. Mwana wauja anapita adi ukapanga engineering. But what happened next? Mwana uja anakamaliza school, no, I didn't want this. My parents wanted this. Anakapatsa paper na makolo wake kuti I've graduated, this is your paper. Iye nkukazimangirira. Very sad as it sounds, but why was that so? It was because the family just pushed that child to do what he didn't want to do. But the same also comes into play even in our universities. I've been teaching in the universities for a long time. Ana ina mabezeka kuda akagamizida upanga program of study or to choose a career path imene si kupanga align with their strength and their passion. Akapita ku school kujazi ntuzima abezeka tuzikwavuta. Chifukwa choti natumuna makola kufuna kuti niyo muoneke ngati chimembene niyo simuni. Mwana wanga matsa nakoza wani amene iyo akapange mathematical sciences. Upira umene kuja ukapanga ma sciences ukapanga zinthu zoti sizikugwirizana ndi mmene iwe muluma komuliri iwe muluma komakhatu koma ukumuziwa umafanya kuti nakana kugagamiza kuti iwe thopanga zimene zizi o mwana wanga apange zakuti. It turns out kuti mwana uja amakapezeka lume jamudani amupanga ko withdraw ola kungobwerenza nde masiku ano ni ma issues a mental health and the like sizimayenda bwino. So choosing a career path ndi chinjota kuti munthu umene okhazikika kai pasi unati ine ndikuzonena the strength that I have, my family may be saying this koma mwina ndikapangene negotiate ndi mastenacha kuti izizi inesi ndikazikwanisa izizi zimene ndikuzonena zimatala ndikuona ngati simbali yanga. Be honest with yourself. It begins with you being honest with yourself, because ndikuze ni magayi MSc ja ndibongo yambira MSc ja otakhala koza 8 ndikuza ndibongo yambira umasapita ku university kuja first exam kukoza 2%. Ask people who have gone through the universities amakozapo maziro amene acha akuza anganali achilungama akuza ndikuti fene tangopita ku physics makamaka kuchanko ndamapita ku physics umene kuja ndi makoza ka physics unakoza 1 neyo bila kuchanko kuja physics first test mwana koza 2/50 nde ku university letu zimene amapanga pena amapezeka kuti mwalemba mayeso amangolemba po 2 iwe nkomata pakuti kodi mayeso amachonga out of chani. Unfortunately ma lectures ena amakhala chipongwe kwambiri samachonga amangowerenga mkungo mulemba po kuti 2 iwe bona mwina ndakoza 2/5 kena komaza kumana ndi mesho wako mwina mupanga program yofanana mesho wako akoza 7 mata mwina ndi pa 10 kena komaza kumana ndi wina akoza 48 mata kodi zinthu zikuyenda bwanji kumona ngati ndi pa 50 kena komaza kumana ndi wina akoza 75 mona kodi zinthu zinali pa 100 why you chose a program of study nkumanena kuti ineyo zimene zizindimata physics ndimtati nadinkula tinakoza 1 by MSCE. It is totally different. So making a career choice shouldn't be pushed by your family circumstances. I've talked about people who are privileged to have family members. What about those who don't have family members? About what exactly they can do when they go to the university. I'm also coming to you. Disadvantage. You may not be spoken to. And this is a big disadvantage. And the umasabeseka kuti ukapitana ku university unona akadiso kuli magari ngata awawa and the like. Komano I have some good news to say we are living in an age of social media. Make use of social media. Utilize the social media, exploit it as much as possible. Ndane nakale zoma mkabila kumango vina matiklo kumusizu kupindulira. Ofunika kumasunga bando not ndikale pa Google Meet. Google Meet, I should take part in my session in Garabene. Wow. So that's why I'm encouraging you, even after this session, make sure that you attend the subsequent sessions. So for those that many information you want, exploit mentors. Yes, I didn't mentors. I know I know one bid muna page ya Facebook like. After this meeting, go on their Facebook page, click on their page. Amabanga share information yambili. Amabanga shares in Zosia na Siana. If you have questions, I know they have mentors. I'm going to introduce my mentors. So please be there and make sure you take advantage of anything that these guys are giving out. Also, I would say good much as I am my mentors. Muzikala ndi mafuso makafusa ma mentors acha. Osangopita umeja ndifuna mundiuze kuti ndisanke jani. No. Have mafuso akale apindu ndithu. Mukale inquisitive as muntu akakaona ndi chidwi muzaona soda nthu aziazubangira niso ni chidwi kuti azibuyankhani. So really make sure that you are making use of the yes mentors. I'm sure kuti some or other people within the initiative they will come in and share kuti ma contacts athu ndi awa, mukafuna kuti mundifuse mafuso mupange ABCD. So I've addressed that question to say, when exactly do you how do you choose? I said, good family background may be one of the circumstances which can lead you to make a particular career choice. Apart from that, I would also add to say, good, another determinant, another factor that determines your career choice, that determines your direction of wherever you're going to go, would be your academic performance. I'll give you a small 30 seconds break, and I'll come back to this. Kuti muzibange kaya analyze kuti kuda academic performance yanga ichanditi. Mutate ngeni malizasa na form 4 aja munde muzaona. I'll be speaking directly to you on that. So just 30 seconds, I'll come back and then we'll continue. Some you may make an announcement if you have anything, but I'm taking a 30 seconds so that I can attend to something else.
All right, I think the only announcement I would make is that we really wanted to have an open chat, but we noted that we had muted the WhatsApp group because we didn't want too much information, more like a spam. And then we noted that when we muted the WhatsApp group, the spam had come to the chat here. It's not commendable. If you have a friend that you would need to chat with, I believe you can chat with them after the session. Our intention was that the chat should be there for questions which our guests should answer after the session. So it's not nice. If we are going to open the chat again, akamaliza our guest, only write your question which you need the guest to answer. Would appreciate that form of discipline. We believe you guys are going to college and there's a certain level of discipline or decorum that contributes to your success. I'm sure Aggie will touch to that. When you go to college, you might be academically brilliant, you might be all that, but if you lack discipline, there is somehow a flaw in you as a being. So I'd like to ask you that if we happen to open the chat, let's stick to the purpose. Let's be disciplined. And when they are really serious with the information that is being shared, and when just say, well, so would want that people should benefit. So if you are putting on your videos, it's fine. Maybe with a video you want us to see you as long as it's not funny, but don't unmute your microphone. For now, it should only be our guest speaker who is speaking. Maybe tikamaliza, we can open a chance to say who wants us to see them. Maybe you have a better makeup, maybe you're putting on a nice suit. We'll be happy to see that, but not now. For now, I would like to hear Aggie speak. So when she's back, please let's listen to what she has to say. If we have questions, we'll have time for questions at the end. So yeah, I was just filling the space. I think Aggie is here now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Marasa, for that one. So, and kupita cha kumapeto, koma ndipanga addresses zinthu zina zake zofunikirabe, ndimakamba zonoti how do you make a career choice. Ndicho yamba chimene ndakamba nchona kuti ma factors angapo amabwera into play as you're making a career choice. The first one being your family background, and the second being your academic performance. Then nakuzani kuti mupange check kuti kodi my son malizatsano imwe CE akuoneka motani. Choyambirira ndinene kuti maloto amene muli nawo, you should know kuti maloto amene wawo kupangidwa share ndati nyamata ambiri Malawi. There are a lot of young people who are dreaming big, just like you're doing. And I don't want to ndikhumulise munthu, komano siwinali yesa amanda panga apply public investor manda atengedwe. I don't want to disappoint you, koma this is the reality of things. It's very sad because the competition is a lot, and we have very few universities to absorb aliyesa mene angabanga apply. Currently, I don't have statistics, but I'm sure IS initiative with what they do, they would have the statistics kuti chaka chatha amene anapanga qualify ndi angati, amene anatengedwa ndi angati. I'm sure kuti akamabweranso akufotokozerani. Nkona ndikuza ndi mwakakamira yesi wawa amakhala ndi data jenoti munthu pang'ono nakasiyidwa koma akutenga chifanya noti wamva information from these guys. Akamabweranso kuza kufotokozerani mamenta zawo amene akubwera in the subsequent days akuwuzani kuti pamakhala cut off point ya ma points. Itha kunena kuti 6 credits in 6 subjects. 6 times 6 in 36. I don't know if that is still the way that they calculate the grades. Komano ngati 6 times 6 imakhala 36, so ngati munthu 36 is atapanga no apply. Olo katama anapanga cut off kuti to 20 kupanga apply. Koma kwasankhako, I'm sure ayes ali ndi information. Akuwuzani. Kuti kwasankhako amanena kuti chaka chino tilekezera pakuti. Chaka chino atsikana tilekezera pakuti. And this is reality because anyamata makhala ndi level yawo polekezera. And you know, ladies are we are most favored. That's why making the right career choice according to your academic performance is often because kupanda kusankha bwino tapeza kuti we ku school kwanu konali highest mwina wakoza 19 pa school imene unaliyo, and this is the first time kwapezeka munthu wakoza 10 mwina ndi pa CDSS pakoza munthu 10 for the first time. Koma ukapita muchimphika chama my students ena mucha, you're not even coming close to ena amene anapita ma school ena ndi ena amene achita bwino kwambiri kuposa iweyo pa MSc results amene. So I wanted to address this una kuti titakumana ndi zimene zonoti atha kuti siya mwina ifacho sinasankhe bwino komanso atha kuti siya ifacho kuti mwina tapitirira pa cut off point. Koma sikuti tili pano kufuna kupanga na disappoint, but we also want to help you unoti even after this, even after atakhala munthu akusiya public university, there is life after that, because anthu ena kungwasiya public university makhanga ndi moyo wawo wathera bomba. But I wanted to address that noti it may not be the end of the world if it happens that way. There is still a career path that you are going to walk in despite not going to a public university. I wanted to put that clear. So how you choose your career path also depends on the grades that you have. Nabanga address many magambira some family circumstances mujanodi. Most of the times family gaona kuti mwana wakoza mawano kauka ma sciences mana amene yiri kufuna apite ku College of Medicine koma mwina si zimene amafuna. Koma most of the times you see kuti ma program of study amakhaso ndi zimene amafuna. Pali ma program ena amanena kuti mwina maths lowest grade ya maths ikale mwina 4 or less than that. So if you have a 5 or only 12 points, koma only 5 wa maths, kapena only 5 wa a particular subject imene amaifuna 1 billion, you may find yourself out of the journey, out of the box. So academic performance imabanga determine what sort of academic performance really has a bearing on what program of study you may do. Una kama iko akunja ifake muna maiko akunja amapeza kuti side ina ili yose ndi school yake ana kumene kwa side ina ili yose district nele satopeza kuti apita school imene akufuna university imene akufuna koma kwathu we don't have that privilege. Competition is just way too high. There may be just too many children looking for the limited space that is there in the university. So often as we are making our choices, you may be the first one in your family to score 15 points, but just be careful on how you make your career choice. Your academic performance, kale kuti amena kubwera kuzakuyankhula on different programs. Mwamvesere bwinobwino kuno tikodi amafuna chani. Akupangeni akuunyikireni bwinobwino. Than kuti muzipeze kuti mwakoza ma points abwino koma you should find yourself at outside the fence. Because this is a rare opportunity. Muitenge ndo opportunity yoti it's a once in a lifetime. Of course, some people are lucky to get it twice. Kuti muna chaka chino sana watenge chaka chama watenge. So make sure that my points anu are kale kuti alibwino according to the programs that are there. I'm sure kuti mwina swayesi walindichi prospectus cha ma public universities which nje imabanga share. Imaonetsa kuti program yakuti zimafunika ndizakuti, program yakuti zimafunika ndizakuti. In fact, I know most of the things that these people, as we are in the next few days as a recent children, is a jimene jojo koma kuziwa kuti ambiri ndawulesi kuti ngokusirani kuti muchiwerenge no kasimuwerenga. Mpona kubwera uzoba ngani breakdown koma so to answer some of the questions. So after the sessions, I'm sure they're going to share that document. Make use of that document. Kuwerenga bwino bwino to program yakuti amafuna chani and inendi ndi chani. Nisa ufika nacho meneko. Timadama to chonde. Tati finyire nika enkati. Don't just choose a program of study. Kungo sankira kuti. All right. I know what is on how is in our choice of programs. Ima color led by economic expectations. Economic expectations. Kunena kuti ndikufuna ndimafuna ntchito iyi chifukwa choti muli ndalama. I know that. Anthu manota ndikufuna chakuti chifukwa choti muli ndalama. Koma mutati muyang'anisise kutha kukupanga disappoint noti some of the most well paying jobs in Malawi are not the jobs that get the best students in the country. The best students go to the sciences. The best students go to the medicine, to whatever. Koma ntchito zinaso zimene zimapereka so makaria ena amene amapereka so mwayi kwambiri in the arts. Zimangotengera kuti kodi iweyo ukupanga shine motani. Ukatuluka ku university kuja. I would say kuti at this point, first degree tiitenge ngati kuti ndi gateway yotipititsa kuzina so mmoyo mwathu. When we are choosing that career, yes, tikusankha panopa. Koma tiitenge ngati kuti it's just a gateway. Tikungodutsa mo ndi njira yoti katifikitse kuzina. Some pamene alipo upanga masters pamene alipo. He never thought maybe he was going to do a master's by this time. I've talked about myself. I'm doing a PhD, but 20 years ago, I was someone who didn't even think. And I'm doing a PhD in a very different program. On this one, allow me to share my story. I'll share it very briefly because I know time is running out quite quickly. Program, how popular the program is. For me, I remember myself from 4 because I didn't have people to talk to me and the like. Education. In my year, I had gotten 15 points. And 15 points in 2004 was just a very good grade. I know I would talk about grade. My choice was go and do education. I made it my first choice. I'm sure 90% of my classmates didn't choose to do education. I made this choice to do education, not because I was passionate about becoming a teacher. In fact, I was at that point when if they leave me, couldn't disappear to university. What couldn't be more private. That we made the parallel program. Ninkadziwa kuti ndi family circumstances akwathu sanga ndilipirire kuti ndipite ku private kuti ndilipirire extra then nikafuna kuti ndilowe mu system ya boma. What did I do? I chose education. Not kuti education is bad, but I know kuti anthu ambiri they despise education. Koma ndinakazindikira ndapita kumene kuja after doing my 4 years zazindikira kuti kodi zinthu zikane sitimazona bwino nazazindikira too late kuti maybe education was the best thing that I should have done. Why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this because of the next point that I want to talk about. Kuti pali ma program ena makhala ochuka kwambiri amene titaweza kuti fera asankha as individuals. Pali ma program ena ndosazwika bwino kwambiri. Take your time to do a research about them. I didn't have that time. I didn't have that opportunity to do kind of research. I just chose education. If I can remember, education. I think the only people that talked to me were like, education because I was so desperate to go into the university. I just chose education and I said, whatever is going to happen. Meeting my friends in college, 90% of my friends didn't want education. And that really affected me so much because naneso number we da so program of study yanga ija why am I here not sakala position my condition ama ziposition mbuyo muja muna sobola pano mbuyo muja pusa manyozeka kwambiri chani. So it really didn't sound very good to me. Ntabanga no join manota mina ndizapanga law napanga apply law after first year nakoza bwino komana ndisiya, but thereafter naza kumana ndima lecture na ku university kuja pamene nzozotia education is not as bad as people make it sound out there. So some of you mutapeza kuti mwina mukalembera atakupanga ni direct. That's another point that I also wanted to address. Kunoti mutapeza kuti akupanga ni direct mwapanga apply mwina ndifuna ndikapanga computer sciences, Bachelor of Science, Computer Sciences. koma ikubwera selection akutenga education computer studies. Hayi niyo muthu apita umeja kumanga dandaula. Ine simafuna upanga education, I can't become a teacher. Inu mfuna zipusa zikalopanda zelu. Akufuna anthu ngati inu ya nzelu kuti mukaphunzitse nanonso. That's what someone told me. I think the dean kuthawi imene anandiyankhula choncho ngati ahead aku university anandiyankhula choncho not yeah. Timafuna so secondary school teachers oti ndanzeru so mukhale mom. I remained in the system. Nabangadi graduate first degree with education. But then I want to address kuti usanke muntu career path yako bwino may not even be now. It may be even after mamaliza school. Because for me, I realized kuti career path imene mafuna naizindikira nditamaliza university when I had finished my 4 years. Currently, as I've mentioned, I've done a first degree in education, but now I'm doing a PhD in social work. Someone may be asking, from education to social sciences, because social work is a social science. How did that happen? Yes, I realized my passion and my strength. So I would say, Guti, how best you choose your career path, it should be aligned to your passion and your strength. And at this point, I'll give you a question. In your strength and your passion, you start from this particular question. And maybe I was fast, ndikufuna kuti mukhale ndifunso ilili muzifuse mulipange reflect masiku angapo muziziyankha by writing. Muzifuse funso lenena kuti what problem do I want to solve? What problem do I want to solve? I think this is the best way for you to make a career choice. Even other than menama kuthandizira na bale anu faka ina mangu zakuza hayi inuyo mukapange engines inuyo mukapange chakuti mukapange accounting mukapange chakuti komano inuyo as an individual mukamakhala life timapanga live once. As you live in this life once, what problem do you want to solve? When you answer that question, you never find yourself on the wrong side of the page. What problem do you want to solve? When you are able to answer that particular question, you will realize that it will be easier for you. For example, if you say, what problem do I want to solve? Other than asking yourself, what program of study do I want to solve? I'm coming back now to that issue, career versus journey versus program of study. Program of study will just be, what program of study do I want to find myself in? Ukasankira muntu program of study umakapanga program ija kuma utha ukapangizeka kuti muntu wapita ku university ukapanga biomedical engineering. The next thing after 4 years, what are we seeing muntu? We are seeing muntu taking orders. Why? What problem did they want to solve in the beginning? Sina problem imene amafuna solve. At the end of the day, akupezeka taking orders. Ndikuita nisasi tuchokera Tanzania, take your orders, press your orders, mnazimva zimezi. Muntu anapanga jani? Biomedical sciences. So, if you want to align your career path now, as a business now, this is the right time. Then go through a program just because you have the right points, but then fail to make a difference. So I've addressed that question to say, I've given you that question to say, what problem do you want to solve? For me, after graduating with a Bachelor of Education degree, I majored in English. I realized that I'm so passionate about vulnerable people. Yes, I'm passionate about students, but there's also something special that I'm passionate about. I realized kuti ndimakhala chidwinda anthu amene akuvutika makamaka achinyamata amene akuvutika ndi skulu chani nasazindikira kuti mwina in the class, just in classroom, I may not make the difference because in class ndimapita kukaphunzisana kenaka ndapanga assess ndalembetse mayeso nasapanga realize kuti there's something bigger that I can do. That's when I transitioned kukapanga masters ya social work. That's why I said kuti a first degree ndipongo yambira chabe olatakhala kuti akupanga redirect because ena mupangidwa redirect mukazapangidwa redirect suri muzakuire munthu mungotitenga songati ndichamwayi chifukwa chakana kuti malo ku university kuja ndochepa ndipempha kuti ayesi atiuze ndithu ma statistics kuti ana amapanga apply ndangati amatengedwa ndangati kuti tikhale ndi picture yabwino and is it we can even be happy when we have been redirected? Komano mukapangidwa redirect to a program that you may not really like. make sure that you do your first degree, grab that paper. What you do with that paper is what will define your career path. So don't take it good. I never kaya forestry, kaya ndichani something that I didn't want. And they sindifuna kupita kuyamba somuna kwakwira makola and the like. No. Take this first degree mukakhala kuti akutengani kuti ndi just an entry. Sibotera ndibongo yambira. I hope to kumvana pamene popo bwino. So it really helped me when ndinazamvesesa sona nezimene zizikunota koma tusukuti kupanga education ndo tuzangokhala mphunzitsi ku secondary. I will tell you kuti I only taught secondary school for 1 year. I only taught at the secondary school for 1 year. After that year, I joined university teaching, and up to now I'm still teaching at the university, even though I'm now teaching in a different field. So it doesn't mean kuti chimene mungakapange panopa ndoti muzangopitiriza chomwecho. In fact, I always say kuti in the next life I may even do physics if I want. So it's just about knowing what sort of problem you want to solve. Please be clear on the problem that you want to solve, because that will help you to choose the right career path. I'm aware that my time is almost up, but let me wind up with the following things. Number one, a career path can be difficult in Malawi where education opportunities are limited. We have to be very aware of that. Kuti career choice itakhala yovutilapo mdziko mwathu muno. Chifukwa chonena kuti ma college ndochepa. Amene atapezeka kuti muna sana atitenge ku public university. Tatiye ndiyesereso mwayi kuma universities ena. Fakela tipapezeka kuti uzichedwesa kukapanga chani kunena kuti andifuna ndikalembeso follow. Yeah, you can write again. Of course zimatengeraso ndi economic stability so ya kumene mukuchokera. Koma I would say kuti ma private universities now akumatha kupanga offer ma program enaso amene angakuthandizeni kufikira amene mufuna kufika. Koma at the same time mwina mudziwenso kuti ma private university amathaso kulandira nawo loan. You have to be aware kuti ma private university amathaso kupasidwa loan fakena kuti ndi economic part yo umatha kupanga nawo apply for loan as long as ukhala kuti kupanga qualify ndi 6 credits and chana manena zimene zonse. So you have to be aware both of private and public universities that can offer you the career path that you would like to choose. After that, let me also mention that you have to be flexible as you're making your career choices. You have to be as flexible as you're making your career choices. Don't be too strict with yourself. I never sinakufuna zachipatala ndibafuna medicine. Medicine yo ili hapo. There are also other programs that are also related to medicine. Koma mwina si MBBS. You can do lab. You can go to Nzunu ukapanga zina zake za maso ama tu opti chani kumene kucha. The program sio kujesa tu antu pa town. Koma tusama idziwa akangomva za medicine amangofuna tufuna kupita komo tupita kuhesika ya mati koma kuli ma program ngati amene opti chani achina samu mwauza kwa nawo kuti mene chani koma ndangona kuti anthu amene anapanga zimene zija ndithu zikumakhanga zikuwayendera town. So you have to be aware kuti munthu afuna kupanga zachipatala it doesn't end there. You can do biomedical sciences, biomedical engineering. It depends on the problem that you want to solve. If problem imene ufuna kupanga solve ndokuzana ndi mavuto amene anthu amakumana nawo mchipatala. Mavuto mchipatala ndosiyana. They can be the problem to do with the body. They can be amene amapangidwa deal with doctors. It can be a problem to do with the machinery. Amene amapanga ma biomedical engineers. It can be a problem to do with the something very small. Just zero. You can go and do dentistry and so on and so forth. So just know the problem. Imene mabanga bother iweyo. Kumene amana kumene mtima wako chimene chimakubowa kwambiri ukamaona iweyo kuti tauni mundi kamaenda ndi madana ndi anthu azingota azinyala. You can go and do environmental health, environmental science, and so on and so forth. But you need to know first, what problem do I want to solve? So I will urge you to be very flexible and be aware that a first degree is just a starting point. It does not mean kuti pamene utathere. I've seen anthu ena muna akatenga ku university ma program ngati mwina theology amapita kumene kuti nkumadandaula anzawo sona amene amapezeka kuti akwanyoza mukakhala pusa ku Sunday school muzakhala abusa yeti yeyo chali chikuka analo wako liti. Komano it doesn't mean kuti when you get a degree in theology ukathera pompo. You can mix it with other things. You can mix it theology with gender, theology and economics, theology and this. Yeah. Komano, what I'm urging you to do is to be flexible. Allow yourself to be an oyster. Or you should let the world be your oyster. You can I don't know if you know an oyster. Utauchitembenuza munjina ina ili yose ngati china chake chonjanja manja mwetu utauchitembenuza uchanganisa. So let your world be an oyster where you can turn it in any way you want. So I will leave you this evening with the same problem that I've mentioned, with the same question that I asked you just a moment ago. What problem do you want to solve? And that answer to that question would determine what you are going to do with every information that has been shared this evening. Thank you very much. Let me stop there.
All right. Thank you, Aggie, for that eloquent presentation. As a way forward, I will do two things. As I'm letting Aggie just take a sip of water, and then I will ask her. I know she's doing a PhD there, for she has a million other things to do, but it will be very unfair if she leaves without answering some questions that you might have. So I have my colleagues with me here who will be managing the questions panel. So please ask only sensible questions. So you will drop your questions in the question box. The chat box has been opened, and my colleagues are going to look at those questions. We might not manage to take all questions, so just write your questions here, and then we'll pick the ones we can manage for Aggie to answer. If some of them are not answered by Aggie, we are going to answer them through our Facebook page. So we are going to send the responses Ngatima post on our Facebook, so that should be addressed. But for now, the chat has been open for everyone to send questions if you have any. So two things that I would like to say. One was the one that was asked by Aggie, to say how many students, the statistics. So I managed to get those statistics. Last year in 2023-2024 application window, a total of 19,250 students applied. 19,250 applied. Out of those 19,250 who applied, 17,907 were eligible. What does it mean? Mujamanene ya mojagati 6 credits. Nande kuti chifukoti kapanga 6 times 6 mwina yumafika kaya 36 ne we like ifeso ringopanga nawo apply ndi utati tenga. Koma khazo ri pa cut off point me anaika ya chaka chimenecho, maybe we are not reaching. I know Nche might have a better explanation than me. So Amiana eligible. Out of those who applied, there were 17,907. But out of those 17,907 who were eligible, Ameniana tengedwa ndi 9,226. 9,226. Meaning Ameniana sidwa ndi 8,681. When we mention the number 8,681, it looks like just a figure, but no, those are human beings. Those are people who are left. So next point I want to make about the statistics, I would like to just take a minute to give my personal example, because as Aggie said, I'm a mentor with Yes Initiative, and also I'm the founder and team leader of Yes Initiative. So what was one of the motivations why I started Yes Initiative? I wrote my MSc and I got 19 points. And after getting 19 points, I applied twice to the University of Malawi, and I was dropped in both instances. So the first time I applied, I was dropped. The second time I applied, I was dropped. I made a decision that I'm not applying for the third time. I'm not ready to wait for the University of Malawi to determine what happens to my life. With that, I went to the Polytechnic where I did my diploma. From there, I went to the University of Malawi where I did my bachelor's in communication as a mature entry student. Right now, as we are talking, I'm in Ireland. I'm doing my master's in public affairs and political communication. So what am I trying to say? As Aggie was saying, at times we might take too long watching on a door that is closed, not seeing that another door elsewhere is open. So if you happen that you have applied and then you are amongst the 8,681 who were left, like what happened with last year's statistics, I would say talk to someone who can mentor you to say, do you think, are you someone who can be able to write MIC again? Or are you someone maybe who should explore other avenues? I just thought I could address that. The next thing that I will say, which is I was supposed to say this towards the end, is the way forward. The way forward is tikamaliza session ya lero. Next thing, from Friday we have my sessions here amene apanga arrange. Ndaona mafunso ambiri mu chat box. I hope Jack and Yanko you are managing to synthesize these questions. Mafunso ena afunso di program yabwino nditi yanchani. Those things it is siakai, because I would like to share this with you that on 15th November from 8 p.m. we'll have session on exploring careers in health sciences, engineering and technology. So during this session, we'll have my mentors, Amina Zati and Kulazo Kudzama programmer health sciences, commercial engineering. So if you are passionate about medicine, nursing, pharmacy, public health, biomedical sciences, we'll have that session. Someone is asking, where am I getting this information from? Please, if you're going to college, be able to use Google. If you just search 2023 results, you'll be able to get these results. So I got them on Google because they made the results public. That's why I got the stats about last year's intake. Okay, continuing, the other programs that will address engineering and technology are civil engineering, architecture, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, information technology, computer science. So if you are passionate about these programs, make sure that you are with us on 19th November. That's when we'll be addressing those programs. And then on 16th November, so that's on Saturday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., we are going to explore careers in business, in management, social sciences, arts, and humanities. So, the programs that we'll talk about specifically, business and management, we'll talk about business administration, accounting, marketing, human resource management, public administration, commerce, or anything related to that. We'll have people who did these programs and they'll speak to us. And then we'll also talk about social sciences, that is sociology, psychology, political science, development studies, economics, social work, anything related to that. We'll also have people who did those programs who speak to us. And then we'll close the day with arts and humanities. Here we'll look at literature, history, philosophy, languages, communication, fine arts, anything related to that. Someone who graduated in those programs will talk to us. And we're going to finish our sessions on Monday, 18th November. Here we are going to explore careers in agriculture, natural sciences, environmental studies, and education. So we're going to look at agricultural sciences, horticulture, agroforestry, environmental management. In short, programs offered at Bunda, and some of them are Nzuni. And then we're going to look at natural sciences, that is biology, chemistry, physics, environmental sciences, mathematics, and statistics. We're also going to look at that. And then we're going to look at education, that is primary education, secondary education, special needs education, what programs are available along that strata. So basically, that's why Aggie was saying, don't just join today's session. Make sure that you join the other session that will be coming, because we'll go into detail. With that, I will have to ask Aggie to answer the questions. So the first question that I have, yes, those who are asking about the programs that they didn't hear about, just make sure you attend the sessions. You are going to hear every program explained. The first two questions, Aggie, for you is someone is asking, what if the problem one wants to solve is something they can manage in terms of their abilities? I don't know, is it saying they cannot manage in terms of their abilities, or is it if they can manage? But in context, I think I would like to understand they're saying, what if my abilities, for instance, I would like to solve a medical problem, but then my ability is in humanities. How do I go around that? That's the first question. The second one, it says, I Aggie, in your presentation, you mentioned the influence of family on career choices. How do you navigate such situations where personal aspirations diverge from expectations from family? For now, I will answer this. I'll ask you to answer these two questions as my team is trying to work around the session, or rather the other questions. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much for those questions. I'll try to be as quick. So this question says, the first one is talking about abilities kuti mwina ma ability yako munthu ndana kuti the problem that you want to solve should align with your abilities. So the question is, what if your abilities do not align with the program that you want to do? I think that's how I have understood the question. Kuti mwina munthu mtima wako umamva kuwawa ukamaona zachipatala zisakuyenda bwino. Nditeredi komano mwina you are not very strong in the sciences. Very good question. Nkona ndimanena kuti pali kusiyana kwa program of study versus a career path. Utakukhala kuti munthu, you are passionate about changing the health system in Malawi, but you may not be a doctor. You may not be a lab technician. You may not be a science person. You can become an advocate for better health systems. And there are also program of studies. Safuna masamu, samafuna masayanses, ata uthandiza kuti wewe ukakhale advocate. Kumbali imene yoyo. Just to put this into context, to say kuti mwina vuto lako muzimene ukuona kuno kuti mwina ndiza khuzana ndi teenage pregnancies and the like. That's also a health problem. Achinyamata ambiri atsikana ambiri muna mamwalira chifanya noti amatenga mimba ang'ono and the like. You can become an advocate. You can go and do community development. You can go and do social work and become someone who can be advising these people on family planning and the like and the like. You don't necessarily need to be someone who is administering medication to them. For example, I'm into social work. Yeah? Social worker, masamu zisikweni kweni yai, koma amagwira bwino ntchito ndi anthu azachipatala. Kupanga advise anthu, kupanga advocate for better healthcare, kupanga advocate for chani. Koma you don't necessarily administer any medication. Utomagwira ngati kuchipatala kuja ngati clinical social worker, utakumakhala ukuthandizira mwina kupanga counseling anthu amene mwina achoka ku theater koma mwina zina zake sizinaende bwino, mwina aluza mwana, mwina zisina chake chachitika. You are still contributing to the healthcare. It's not necessarily that ukalopanga administer jani mankwala ukao. That's why not a career path is not about just a program of study. My program of study ata ukalabo or my career path utakali muntu wanga contribute towards the health systems in the country. So ungo yanga nabe within the different programs that are there. Ata ukalabo diploma program ata utandizira kuyakama challenges amene iwe umaona kuti kapena ndi mavuto amene ufuna upanga solve. So it's not just restricted kunena kuti when upanga program ya medicine kuti ukapange solve medical problems. There are so many things that you can do. And even if anakati muna medicine yakusiya koma mwina you are a bit stronger in the sciences, kula ina biomedical sciences kuli chani zose zimathandizira anthu amapanga za drug discovery amapanga za chani zose zikuthandizira. You are not necessarily the doctor, but you are one who is discovering drugs for various problems that are there in our country. So I would say kuti zimene upanga zimene zizofunikira kwambiri because zikutithandizira kudziwa the various pathways that we can go with the different program of study that we can do. Ndithu I hope funso limene londa yanga. Funso lachiwiri lagamba zokhudzana ndi where family and personal passions do not align. I know this is a very big problem for our young people in Malawi. Kuti most of the times we give up to the elderly. We give up to those who are above us, especially according to ntamena kumakulipirira ni fees chani ndizovuta kuti munthu kangokhala kuti utani unene kuti ayinesi ndipanga izizi ndikufuna ndipange izi. But I would say kuti zimakhala bwino mwina kuziyambira patali nkumakambirana nawo makolo acha because ndantamata kalipire fees mwina ndamaya sopasa pocket money ndezima kuyambira patali kuti mwina mumvetsetsane kuti there is a reason I want to do this. That's why tikupanga ma session awawa kunena kuti you can have an idea kuti kodi chimene ndikukapangiranji kuti mukamakapanga konvince makolo akamvesese chifukwa makolo ena tusangamvesese kuti mwana wanga basi no 10 points ufuna ukapange music. Why do you want to do music with 10 points? Parents will not understand because you are the understanding of music don't know kuti muna ndi ina yake yopanda phindu. But when you do your research in advance kukawa fotokozera makolo acho komatu with music with drama pa Malawi panopa ndithapangapo zakuti but also you may even you may even convince them you are not just looking at solving national problems, or you're not just looking at the exploiting issues of music in Malawi, but you're looking internationally, because you are not just meant to just end in Malawi. You should also look into the international scene. Sam and me are out of the country right now because of mapuziro omweyo. Look at where we all started. So I'm talking about talk to your parents. Talk to your parents. Ngati makolo anga peseke muna ukaka milada, no makolo ina ndovuta muna ina ndovuta tsitsa. You can find someone to talk to them. You can always find someone who can talk to them. In a personal, I've talked to several parents as a lecturer. I've talked to several parents. I mean, I'm now but in the end, it figure a common place. But you can find someone who can actually talk to your parents if you can't do it yourself. But this is a time that you need to find out more information about the program that you want to do. Kuti mungamaka auza makolo sakakhala convinced kuti munthu uyo abwera kuno data koma kungopita wangu also sa ineyo zanu zosindifuna upanga ndifuna ndipange izi, and you don't have any defensive points. Mene kondaka kuthamangisani lini yakumana nesima. So ngati simufuna mavuto, make sure kuti mukhale ndi data yokwanira kuwafotokozera kuti ndikuona ngati nditapanga izizi, this is where I'm going to end. So make sure that you have the information, or if you need someone else to advocate on your behalf, you can also find the mentors that are in this place. I think they're open to talk to even parents who are like that. Sure, thank you.
All right, thanks, Agi. Just to say, Kuti, our college link experience this year, tabanga ma sessions yawa, but last year we didn't do these sessions. What we did is we asked people to give us their grades, and then we were recommending programs to them. Therefore, just to aid in that aspect, to say, in case you are lost, our programs extend. Tikamaliza session in as I've said, we'll have 3 other sessions. After we have done 3 other sessions, the next thing we'll do is that nche ikadzati yatsekula they've started receiving abanga offer ma program ajaga chino ndiawa. We do offer an opportunity to say, if you are not sure that which program should you apply to, you can send us your grades. You can tell us what are you passionate about, or you can even tell us what programs do you think you are fitting. Our team of mentors, we have over 20 mentors who are college graduates, are going to help you to say, with your grades, I think this program can suit you better. So, but mind you, we are not doing that now. Right now, we are giving you enough information to make those choices. After that, it's when we'll say, send us your grades if you think you need assistance. My friend is asking me kuti ndiyankhule muchichewa, ndibangere emphasize muchichewa. Okay, chimene kunena ndichoti bungwe yesi. No, please, Andrew Coco, we are not saying murumize ma grades panova. That's where the misunderstanding is coming in. Do not send your grades now. Today, from Madam Kambala. In the next 3 sessions, we are going to talk about... Oh, sorry. I'm even failing to emphasize in Chichewa Ndobita Sogizongo. Let me try again. Lero tapanga session ya yongo dzwitsana kuti kodi ma careers ndotani. Tikamaliza pamenepo, ikhani ma session ena atatu amene tikhati kufotokoza za ma program osiyana-siyana amene ali ma university ya ku Malawi. Kenako tikamaliza tidikira anche adzatsekule kuti tayamba kulandira anthu amene afuna panga apply ku college. Funso ndikumati chifukwa chani tikudikira anche, chifukwa ni situlandira ma results anu panopa, chifukwa ndichonena zoti kulipo otheka lumina ma program amene anali chaka chatha, chaka chino awasintha kubwera ma program ena. Ndiye akati abwera ma program enawo tikufuna tidzakuthandizeni ma recommendation motengera ma program amene akupanga offer anche. Choncho tikupempheni musatitumizire ma results anu, musatumize pa group, musatumize aliyese wa yesi ma results anu pakali pano, chifukwa ngakhale ife ayesi sili kudziwa kuti ma program ena akupanga offer ma university chaka chimene chikubwerachi ndi ma program ati. Timafuna tingotsindika pamenepo kuti zotumiza ma results si panopa tufuna mumvetsere. Tamvani kaye zimene akuphunzitsani zimene tikhali kuphunzitsana lachisanu loweruka mpaka na Monday. Tiyeni timvetsere kaye, tikamaliza kumvetsera kenako tidzakupemphani kuti tiyeni tigwire ntchito limodzi kuti muyesere mupanga apply college imene angakutengeni. Ndinene zoti tinayamba izi chifukwa nno akene ndinazo ine ndine victim amene ndinapanga ku apply kawiri nkusiyidwa. Ndenazi ndikuti mwina ana ena amasiyidwa atakhoza bwino fika mwina samamvetsa. Chifukwa tinayamba program imeneyi. pomaliza pali mafunso awiri amene tifuna agi atiyankhe timene timalize 9:30, so we have 6 minutes to go. Funso loyamba ndilonena zoti anazoti in your path of career, what is your most challenging moment while pursuing it and how did you manage it? Ali mu career path, so challenge imene munayona inali iti ndipo munatha nayo motani? So linalo I think inaloti what if one has a career since childhood but cannot do it due to points? I think imene yankhidwa amene amafotokoza unless angafuneso apange emphasize. I think akayankha mafunso awiri amene watapatsa mpata guest athu tatsanzike and then tikhala tikutseka. But as a reminder, go on Facebook, mukapanga search youth empowerment and support initiative, muipeza page yathu. From there, even anzano amene sanakhale nawo mu session ino tikupanga record live, meaning akhoza kupita ndikayonera, komanso tipanga share mawa pa YouTube page pathu and kulikonse amene information imene tingagawane. Over to you, Agi, to finalize the questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. Mafusa awiri koma kandikumbukira linalo lambirira lokuzana ndi ma challenges that I have made on my career path. I'm really trying to dig deep to remember what my challenges. If I get, a career is a process, as I've said, so my problems at different stages in one's life. When I was a student at the University of Malawi, Chancellor College then, I think one of the major problems that I faced was zochitika zimachuluka. So napita ndinti maonana kuti education ndi yophweka. I think itina na mizido jonjo not ngati education is easier and the like. Koma napita umene kujango kumana kuti anthu high education amatenga so makosa ambiri so kuposa so. Nthawi imene amatenga makosa ambiri kuposa so anthu amene apanga ma program ena. So it was really kind of a challenge, but I think with having friends, my groups amene mapanga nawo linki timathandiza na school zinazatheka ndithu bwino. So I think one thing that I utilized was to be close to my lecturers. Amadi ankula nditu bafupi because in time napanga major English, my English yake si mene maiziwa idiyama noun ni ma pronoun inali English yake yofuta muta anthu amaithawa kwambiri. But because I had mentors in my lecturers zinazandithandizira kwambiri. Another problem imene sona zaona ngati napanga face ndionena kuti coming from a background where you sunapuze muna private ikachizunguka mativuta panopa ndi machita udabo kuti ipena timathapanga construct ka sentence osalakwitsa because of the background. I know most of you muna mapuze ndi ma private chanchani wa feel private so kudziwa. All that I have done to learn English has been solely by mostly my own effort. So it was not easy meeting people who are coming from backgrounds where they could speak eloquently. So it was not easy in that way. But what I did was to take opportunities to school, which are presentations and the like. I would always give myself, I would always raise a hand to say, I'm going to take this opportunity to do a presentation and the like. That even by the time that I was becoming a teacher, I was able to stand in front of a big number of students that panova even in class mtakana 1000 this morning kirangati kuti mukuvuta kweni simply because nazolowera. Currently in my career path, I'm teaching at the University of Malawi. I think one of the challenges has been the rising number of students. Nendunenera kuti panova kuinvesta maringa anthu ambiri, so timakhani ma students ambiri kuchonga mapepa amakhala ambiri and the like. But that's not something to worry about. There's always support in the career path. I know every career path has got its own challenges, but for me, I would say that I've always found a way out of the challenges that I have been facing. The other question, mwina mungu ndipangira repeat mu chat box imo, I'll it. Komanda ona question ina yake so mu chat box imo, an interesting one. Let me address that one. So some you may just pick that question again. Man, ndibanga address or muna ndibange so emphasize as I conclude. Komanda, someone was asking, some of us had career from primary, but some people are saying that nowadays they're not marketable. What should we do in that case? That's a very important question. And as you remember, one of the ways in which we choose a career path is because of the economic prospects kapena chimene kuti lonjeza career kuti tidzapanga ndalama zimene tingadzapange tikamaliza zimene upangazo. Koma one thing that I should mention to you guys and I should emphasize, nanena kale koma ndibwerezaso kunena kuti the world is in your hands. Career imene mwina zimaoneka songa kuti sizili marketable ndi zimene so mwina uthopanga nazo zinthu zazikulu. It matters how you are going to market yourself after this, because uthakhala panga like in our day and family amaona kuti economics was very marketable then, komano uthapanga mtu economics yo koma ukathera kukaphunzisa. I don't know if you're getting my point. But I have seen a number of people amene apanga ma program ena which are not education. Koma akamaliza akumafuna kubwerera so ku University of Malawi kuti akapange a program imene amati University Certificate in Education. Cholinga choti akamaliza pamene popo bomali alembe ntchito ngati asikusa ku secondary. They may be the same people amene akanyoza education. Sindingapange education. But they're now coming in kuti akufuna akapange education simply because aona kuti zimene ankafuna yonzo. I would say kuti mwina sizili marketable. But I would say kuti kila chose chili marketable depending on iwe amene ukuzipangira expose pansika. It's a matter of how you're going to put yourself out in the market. How are you selling yourself after your first degree? First degree, ndibongo yambila. After the first degree, mutu wapanga zintu zina zake zoopya. Zodi somwina, ndizo zodabwisa, zodi simaembeke zita kupanga di degree mene muli nayo. So, it shouldn't be about people saying that it's not marketable. Otherwise, mukapanga program, imene mumaona ngati di marketable ija. Mukasamaliza school kuzakhala anthu okhumudwa, kulena kuti the market that you thought is supposed to be there is not there. And you should also know kuti anthu amene mupita ku school universities, simungopita ma public universities, kuli ma private universities. Panopa mukamaona muzoona kuti pamakhala magala almost every month kumachitika graduation. So there are a number of people amene akulowa in the job market, amene afunika kulowa in the job market, abanga graduate. Not everybody is going to find a job, of course, but it matters how you're going to sell yourself. You can do program and not even ndiyonyazeka kwambiri pa institution but koma zimatengera so kuti munthuwe ukuzipanga market motani. So ku college kuja amene analelera samu kuyambira unati mwina tikuzaniso ndizoyena ukachita college. Ku college is not just a matter of going there just to get a degree, getting a distinction. It's a matter of building networks. My network ineyo, I'm one person amenda banga benefit kwambiri from the networks that I have built. Zambiri zimenda banga achieve moyo mwanga is because of the people that I've come into contact with. So I would also advise you, when you go university, you shouldn't just see it as an opportunity to get a paper. Beyond your paper, get other skills, get other transferable skills, meet people, make relationships. Even if mugamaka funa kugwidwa, osango kugwidwa for the sake of kugwidwa. Be purposeful in whatever you're going to do.
All right, thanks. The question that I said that might have been addressed already was, what if one has a career since childhood but cannot do it due to the points? What should he or she do? That's the one that was left behind. I don't know if you would address it or if it's okay.
Okay, imene inandisana banga address, komandi pangano address panopa. Kunena kuti uthokali ndi career imene umafuna koma ma points ako saku kulola. There are alternatives. If you're too passionate about it, uthoka bwereza. Ngati ma points ake wati titaone kuti muna sali bwino. Uthoka bwereza. But that's not really advisable because you still compete in the gulu lina soka. That funa so kupanga so compete. So it may not be the best option. I would say kuti menda fotokozera kuti it's career path, it's not directed by just one program of study. You can do it through another means. You can solve particular problems through other directions. So you may choose another route, in humanities, as long as it is helping you to answer the problems that you want to solve. But otherwise, sometimes it will be hard. Pena mupangidwa redirect ndalina kale. Pena sakutengani. Komano ngati mukuona kuti ma points ajulukitsa mera kuzileni zimene kuzeni panopa muzigwirise ntchito bwino bwino. Chifukwa sitofuna anthu otanzabwe mukulira kuti ineni mafunisisa ntapanga izi koma ndisiya ntapanga apply. Maybe because you wouldn't take heed of whatever is being shared here. So make sure kuti kusankha mungosankha mwanzeru. Kumuitenga first degree ndipo ngoyambira. kwinako muzaona nazo chochita. You may do it as a second degree, you may do it the way you want to do it, or you may even divert kumazailoza zijanimana lumatama iloza ntchito chakuti ndikuti nkafuna ntchito iyo uzangoiloza basi, but you are doing other things, so don't worry about it.
All right, thank you. As we said that our session was supposed to end at 21:30, I think part of being good at what you do is being disciplined, so we'll try and be disciplined. We know there might be many people with so many questions, but how we have to see Olola because almost everyone, Aggie has things to do. She's a student. I happen to be a student too, so we don't have like infinite time. Mupanga share screen yanu Kayandindani, Precious, please don't show us your screenshots. You can keep them for another venue. Please just stop sharing your screen. Yeah, so as we said, this is the end of our session today. On Friday at 8 p.m. we'll have another session. So we are going to share this, as I said, on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, on the WhatsApp group. We are going to use every avenue. Sana kale now, trending part on Vetera. Omanso, as Agia said, we are calling you to say, please attend the next sessions because they will be very helpful. With that, I would like to thank you all, guys. When we were conceptualizing this, actually, we thought we would have maybe only 70 people. That's why Tinalicha Bendi space and 150 according to Google Meet. But after seeing the response that we have, we've seen that we need to do better. So I hope that the next one will not have other people who will be left out because of space. Otherwise, guys, make use of everything that you've gotten from this session. I don't know if you have any other final words before I call the meeting to close.
All right, guys. Just to say thank you very much for listening to me. I'm sure you guys have got a bright future. Listen to whatever is going to be shared even in the next few days. Make use of it. You're going to make a difference. You are the future for Malawi. Malawi is waiting for you to solve various problems. So the question once again, what problem do you want to solve? Thank you very much.
All right, now thank you to all of you, and especially thank you to Aggie. I know and I understand your busy schedule, but that you could give us all this time just to speak to these students. And last disclaimer, usually this question comes up: how much does it cost to attend our sessions? How much does it cost for you to be recommended by Yesi? The answer is it costs 0 kwacha and 0 tambala. So don't let anyone come to your inbox and say, no, I work for Yesi. I would want you to help you with this. Pay me this much. Our sessions are for free because people like Aggie have come here. We haven't paid them. So we use the same thing that she was talking about networks. Ag is in my network. Because she's in my network, I can be able to steal 2 hours of her time to come and be part of this session. So no one makes you pay for any of Yesi's services. With those remarks, I'll say thank you all. Have a good night.